The C8X is a compact utility shuttle crafted by Anvil Aerospace. Released in version 3.7.2, it is the upgraded version of the C8, designed as a runabout vehicle for the Carrack, a large size 5 exploration ship. Despite its humble origins, the little C8X has managed to become a starter ship in its own right. But is this little flying box any good for a new player? Hi, I'm Joru5, and in this video I'm going to share what I like, what I don't like, my final verdict and my suggestion for improvement about the C8X. Starting from this video, the improvement section will have its own chapter. So don't stop the video right after the final verdict or you'll miss an important part of this review. If you are new to the concept of a starter ship in Star Citizen, I recommend you check out my Drake Cutter review for a comprehensive overview. In a nutshell, starter ships come with the game package that gives you access to the Star Citizen universe and are usually small to medium in size and offer versatility. The C8X is Anvil Aerospace offering in this category. To better understand the philosophy behind this ship, let's delve a little into the story of its manufacturer. Anvil Aerospace was founded in 2772 on Terra by J. Harris Arnold, a spacecraft designer of the old school. After delivering military-grade equipment to the UAE Navy for almost 2 centuries and providing some of the most effective fighters like the F-7A Hornet, Anvil considered entering the civilian market. The decision led to a prolonged debate that nearly caused a split within the company. The UAE government stepping into the discussion surprisingly favored the idea of military-style ships for civilians, especially on the distant frontiers. The first available product was the F-7C, the civilian version of the F-7A Hornet, which became an instant success, increasing the company profits by 34%. The civilian division converted other fighters, such as the Gladiator, and soon began developing its own design for exploration, such as the Carrack and the Pieces. Over the centuries, both the military and civilian divisions of Anvil have maintained a distinctive, pragmatic, no-frills, straightforward philosophy regarding ship design. Each vehicle is designed to perform a specific task and is equipped with only those features directly related to that task without compromise. In fact, Anvil has yet to produce a true multi-role ship, such as the Nomad or the Drake Cutters, and it is more likely to continue this way. The C8X follows this philosophy. Stripped of all amenities and fancy interiors, this little ship is a hardcore utilitarian shuttle designed to transport a small crew and some cargo within the boundaries of a solar system. And it's time to find out what I like about the C8X. Size 1. The C8X is classified as Hangar Size 1, which allows you to claim the ship at ground vehicle pads. This feature is especially useful for creating size 3 boxes that can hold 1 SU of stuff. Here's how it works. Claim the ship from a mining area, then load it with whatever you can find in the crates scattered around the area, land the ship just outside the armistice zone and self-destruct it. This will spawn a larger size 3 box containing all the items you collected. These boxes, which can hold 1 SU of cargo, are excellent for farming loot. In a single defense mission, you can collect enough items to sell for thousands of extra credits. Straightforward. The C8X is a straightforward, no-frills ship that truly embraces the less is more philosophy. What I appreciate about this approach is that achieving simplicity is often more complex than it appears. It involves carefully eliminating features and functionality to strike the perfect balance between pragmatism and usability. With no living quarters or amenities, the C8X is surprisingly compact, about the same size as pure snubs like the Merlin and 85X. Yet, in terms of features, it matches or exceeds many larger vessels, especially among starter ships. It can transport 4S use of cargo, offers great flight efficiency, has a decent damage output, and can carry 2 passengers.
Atmospheric flight.
Despite its boxy design, the C8X manages to deliver solid flight performance in atmospheric conditions. This fits well in its intended role as an exploration shuttle, designed to provide planetary transportation for a small crew.
Passengers.
The C8X can carry 2 passengers, which is an amazing feature for an affordable starter ship, making the C8X ideal for playing with friends. In fact, if you plan on inviting some friends to play Star Citizen, I recommend you do 2 things. First, have your friends join using the referral code in the description, which will give them an extra 5000 UEC. Second, suggest that they start with the C8X. Having at least 2 of these ships will speed up the creation of size 3 boxes and provide a good way for your party to travel together, with lower claim times compared to larger multi-crew ships like the Freelancer.
Headlights.
If you have watched my reviews before, you'll know I highly value good headlights on a ship. The C8X excels in this area. Its headlights are so powerful that they can even be blinding when they bounce off the snow.
Operating costs.
The C8X has one of the lowest hydrogen fuel costs per hour. An important feature is hydrogen fuel is one of the most common and significant expenses in the game, especially for new players. In fact, the ship has very low hydrogen fuel consumption and is equipped with a good fuel scoop, a technology for replenishing hydrogen fuel from atmospheric gas. This means that the C8X rarely needs to be refueled and is almost cost neutral due to its low repair and rearming costs.
Combat capabilities.
Despite its small and seemingly fragile design, the C8X has surprisingly decent combat capabilities. It has a small cross-section and decent maneuverability even in atmospheric conditions. While for size 1 weapon hardpoints may not seem formidable, they provide enough firepower to easily take down targets up to size 3.
Affordable.
The C8X starter pack is one of the most affordable options. It's the same price as the Cutter, and currently only the Mustang Alpha and Aurora MR are cheaper. In my opinion, this makes the C8X a no-brainer choice for those looking to purchase a starter pack on a budget and plan to play with friends. And now, the things I don't like about the C8X.
Internal layout.
The interior of the C8X has a cool aesthetic, but its internal layout leaves room for improvement. The entrance is too narrow, making it difficult to load boxes and impossible to fit a PTV. There is no outside view for passengers, and the lack of a pressurized area for the crew,
From a role-playing perspective,
is a notable drawback for an exploration ship. What if a crew member's exosuit is damaged? That will jeopardize the entire mission, since the ship has only one pressurized environment. In the improvement section, right after the final verdict, I'll show you how I would update the internal layout of the ship to overcome all of these problems.
stock configuration.
The stock configuration of the C8X has a puzzling weapon setup. The ship has 4 size 1 hardpoints, which is solid for its size. The problem lies in the combination of 2 gimbaled laser repeaters and 2 fixed laser cannons. First, the different muzzle velocities between the cannons and the repeaters create inconsistencies with the targeting pip. And second, it is a matter of targeting convenience, as all gimbaled weapons would have been easier to operate.
No gold pass.
The C8X has not yet received the gold standard pass, an annoying shortcoming considering that it has all the necessary panels to access its components. It's also worth mentioning that the C8X lacks a weapons rack. However, I don't see this as a flaw, considering that the ship has no living quarters and is primarily designed for AB transport of an already equipped crew.
Unrealistic fuel tank.
The hydrogen tank of the C8X has an incredibly large capacity, so large that it's simply unrealistic. To give you an idea, its hydrogen tank size is comparable to that of the Andromeda or the Freelancer Max, which are size 4 and 3 ships respectively. Sure, this can be cool, because the C8X virtually never runs out of fuel. From a role-playing perspective, however, this aspect is jarring, especially considering that the C8X doesn't need such a large fuel reserve, given its low fuel consumption rate and highly efficient fuel scoop.
No logout bed.
Being so compact and resourceful comes at a price. The C8X lacks a bed for logging out. This may sound like an insignificant shortcoming, but I found this feature very useful to safely stop playing when tired. Final verdict. Before we get to the final verdict, please remember to like and subscribe. It's a small thing you can do, but it goes a long way in supporting this channel. Your likes and subscriptions allow us to continue to provide detailed and honest reviews. Thank you for your support. Now, the C8X is an interesting ship because it packs a lot of features into one of the smallest ships in the game. It was originally designed as a runabout for the Carrack, but was soon promoted as a starter, which I think makes perfect sense. Of all the starter packs, this is by far the best affordable way to get started playing Star Citizen with friends. It can carry 2 passengers, it's size 1, so it can be claimed from ground pads. It's easy to fly, it has decent combat capabilities, good headlights, and it has very low operating costs and claim time. And 4S use of cargo is huge considering it is nub-sized, but its puzzling internal layout causes problems that prevent the C8X from being a true masterpiece. My final verdict on the C8X is 7 out of 10. The C8X is a small and resourceful ship in its simplicity, but its suboptimal internal layout, along with the fact that it is not yet gold standard and its questionable stock configuration, prevent it from achieving a higher score. However, despite these shortcomings, I still consider the C8X to be the best budget starter ship for playing with friends and an excellent choice overall. And now let's move on to the improvement section. For the C8X, I've outlined 2 levels of intervention. The first level only involves modifying the ship's stats and stock configuration. The second level aims to further enhance the C8X by modifying its internal layout.
Level 1.
In the modified stock configuration, the C8X will be equipped with 4 gimbal-mounted laser repeaters, replacing the current mix of gimbal-mounted laser repeaters and fixed laser cannons. This change will provide more convenient targeting and consistent peak performance. In addition, the hydrogen tank size will be reduced to match that of the Arrow, reflecting their common manufacturer and similar size.
Level 2.
The interior layout of the C8X faces 3 main issues. First, the narrow entrance to the cargo area makes it difficult to load boxes and prevents a PTV from fitting inside. Second, passenger visibility is compromised. And third, there's no additional pressurized area for the crew, compromising both safety and comfort. This is how I suggest modifying the C8X. The component access panels that narrow the entrance are moved between the pilot and the passengers. These panels are concave and more widely spaced so they don't obstruct the passenger's view. The component access panels that are currently between the pilot and the passengers are moved between the cargo area and the passenger seats. The entrance of the ship is widened to match as closely as possible the width of the cargo bay, allowing a PTV to fit inside and boxes to be loaded more easily. A sliding door is added to separate the cargo area from the crew area, creating an additional pressurized area for increased safety and comfort. I believe this new layout will make the C8X even more resourceful and enjoyable to use. And you, what do you think of these changes and which ones would you make? Let me know in the comments. In the next episode, the Carrack. Can you guess what I like and what I don't? Until next time, see you in the verse.